So I have some thoughts.
In the church, and I'm forever blessed to be able to have that connection. I didn't really have my connection with God personally or with Jesus until I became older, and I was
Yes.
able to my own relationship. Because I feel like it's two things that can happen when you grow up in the church. You can either really fall into it, or you can fall out of it.
Sure.
And if you don't have your own personal relationship, I think it makes you question a lot.
Okay, first and foremost, all respect to Keith Lee and Kiki Palmer. I love them both. I'm a huge fan of both of them. I would like to say that just had a few thoughts as a person who grew up Christian. I was Christian for 36 years and now I'm agnostic. Keith mentioned how you can, if you don't have that personal relationship growing up, you might have it when you get older. And then maybe if you don't have a personal relationship, you can question a lot. And I have a counterpoint to that. I feel like my Christian upbringing really emphasized having a personal relationship with God, and I had that relationship with God for years and years, and I relied on that relationship. I spoke to God, I talked to God. I really, it was at the forefront of my Christianity was to have a personal relationship with God. Both my church and my parents emphasized that. And there were still questions. And it was as I got older, I was able to really question without guilt. I think growing up, I had a lot of guilt because it's like, oh, if you have the questions, you're not as faithful and you're not as trusting in God, and you're not really a believer. And I put those questions away, and it wasn't always when I was younger when I had those questions. It really was as I became an adult and things just weren't lining up for me as far as like with the way the world is and things I was experiencing. And so I only respond to this because I hear this type of argument a lot when people like myself leave the church or don't believe anymore. And I just wanted to say that it's not necessarily that. I really like to share my story when I can on here to build community, because I think maybe people don't understand why people leave and they assume certain narratives that aren't true. And I just kind of want to bring truth to my narrative and just highlight that. And if you have questions, again, leave them in the comments.